Hi there guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna Sophia for those of you that are new here. In this video, we are going to be doing a trash to treasure or a decorate for free. And basically, if you're not familiar with that, what I did is I took random items around my house and repurposed them and gave them a new life. So let's get right into it. For the first trash to treasure item I'm going to share with you guys that I made is this leather rope ball that was inspired by a monkey's fist ball that I saw on the McGee & Co website. The materials that I used to make this DIY that I would have otherwise thrown away are a leather belt, and I have macrame cord because I like to do macrame in my spare time. But if you don't have macrame cord, you can absolutely use rope, a hot glue gun, and then some form of a ball. I'm using this styrofoam ball from an old project because it's the exact size that I wanted, but you could definitely use like one of your kids' balls that they're not using anymore, or a basketball, or a ball from the Dollar Tree, and get a DIY that's very similar to this one I'm going to share with you. The first thing I needed to do was make a cut in this leather belt to make the handle for the leather rope ball. Now, I wanted it to be proportionate in terms of size, so I actually used quite a bit of the belt. If you have something that's a lot smaller than this ball, then you probably wouldn't need to use nearly this much. And after I removed the section of the belt that I wanted, I just needed to hot glue the ends together to make it actually look like a handle, because that's what we're going to be putting at the top of this styrofoam ball. And now that our leather handle was essentially built, it was just time to make a space for it at the top of the ball. Now, because this is styrofoam, I was able to just kind of take some scissors and just poke it right through. If you have something that is a little less forgiving, it might be a little bit more challenging, but this was super easy. Before I actually wanted to commit putting that leather handle through the top and like hot gluing it down, I actually wanted to get that rope started first. So I am just kind of feeding a little bit of that rope through that hole that we just created, and now I'm gonna add that leather handle back in. And now that our handle was nice and secure, it was just time to start wrapping the rope around the handle as well as around the entire surface of the ball. You probably could cut the macrame cord down to size if you knew exactly how much you needed, but I had no idea to figure that out, so I just decided that I was just going to keep unraveling it from its spool and then hot glue in very small sections. I think working slowly in a DIY like this really does pay off, because everything ends up being really like even and it looks really put together, and you didn't rush through it and you don't have big empty spaces. So definitely be meticulous during this phase of the DIY, because I really do think it makes a major impact later. Another thing you want to be really meticulous about is how much glue you're actually applying to the ball or the surface that you're covering, because you don't want to be able to see any of that glue, because that's what really differentiates things from looking like you could have bought it at a store or looking like this was a DIY project. So I would say less is more, but make sure that you're getting everything to stick well. And as I approached the end of the ball, I poked a small hole at the bottom so I had something to put the macrame cord through. For our second DIY project is actually my favorite in this video, because I think most people have a box like this around their house, especially after Christmas or the holidays. Maybe you got something like perfume or new shoes, or in my case, I got this coffee warmer because I literally have to microwave my coffee 46 times a day. So this has really been a nice gift, but I'm really excited about the box that it came in because I'm going to make a little memorabilia box. I would say you definitely want to use a box that has a bottom and a top versus something that flips open. So, I mean, use what you have, but I would say that this style of a box is the best. So all I'm really doing with this is I mixed a couple colors of paint together. I was going for more of like a light pink tan color, and I wanted it to have some variations. So I didn't mix the paint together very well because I kind of wanted to see it almost have like a marbled effect. Because the top of this box was really like vibrantly colored, it did take 3 coats to cover it completely. And then also I wanted to mention, I did add a little bit of baking soda. If you want to thicken your paint, almost give it like a chalk paint consistency, that is a really inexpensive way to do that. And most people have baking soda around their house for cleaning or for cooking, so I definitely think this is a good hack. And then once my box was completely covered top and bottom, I am like a hoarder for different knobs. I have so many different ones lying around the house. So I ended up just taking one of the knobs that I had because I saw on McGee & Co.'s website, they had a small knob on top of a little box just like this. So I decided I was just going to measure the top of the box and find the center. I'm using a speed square. You can use a tape measure or whatever you have. And once I was able to determine the center of the top of the box, the knob that I picked had a little notch at the bottom, so I was able to just kind of prick that in the top of the box and then add the smallest amount of hot glue and apply it to the top of the box. And then one last thing I wanted to mention is I did coat the entire thing with a layer of matte Mod Podge just to make sure the paint wouldn't chip off. And for our last trash to treasure project for this video, we are going to be making a kind of paper mache vase without really using paper mache, because if you've ever done paper mache, it takes so much time and it actually has like a decent amount of ingredients. If you have a really good recipe, please leave it in the comments down below. But every recipe that I have found that worked always has like a lot of things happening and it takes a lot of time. So we're just going to make our vase look like it was made from paper mache because that is super trendy right now. Not even just McGee & Co., but so many high-end stores are selling vases and bowls that look just like this. And obviously the first thing you need is an empty vase or bottle. As you saw in the first clip, I was removing all of the labels. I do so using Goo Gone. You can buy that at the Dollar Tree for $1, or you can just soak it in hot water and take some dish soap, and it just takes a little bit longer. And the first thing I'm actually doing is taking some white matte acrylic paint and mixing it with just the slightest amount of baking soda just to thicken it a little bit, because I read somewhere that before you apply drywall filler or spackle to any sort of a vase or bottle, you want to make sure that you create a barrier in between. So I'm just painting this completely, one coat of white paint, and then I did do one coat of just spackle all around and let that dry overnight. Definitely before you do this project, you're going to want to lay a lot of things down because it gets pretty messy because you're using your fingers with the spackle and you're mixing paint with the spackle. So definitely protect whatever surface that you're going to be working on. I mixed territorial beige and a brown color that I have. I'll make sure I link the names of the paints that I used in the description box below. And I thought about using a brush just to give it maybe a more clean finish, but I actually really liked the way it looked when I applied it with my fingers instead. So the first thing I'm doing here is I'm just applying a small amount of spackle to some cardboard, and then I am taking that territorial beige and mixing it with the spackle. So the point of this is now to get the color that is similar to the one that I did see on the McGee & Co. site, which is more of like a beige, not stark white. And after I was able to get that nice beige base, I decided that I needed to lighten it up a bit. So I ended up taking some cream matte acrylic paint and mixing it to the current spackle mixture that I already had, just to make it feel a little bit more bright and have a little bit more variation as well. So I'm just doing so using like a little pressing motion just to give it some really nice texture. And basically I just kept doing that. I kept flipping between the darker of the two and then the lighter of the two. I don't know why, but this reminded me so much of like blending makeup. And after I did that all the way around, all the way until I got to the top of the vase, I was happy with it. I was happy with the way that it looked, but I wanted to still give it a little bit more texture. So I ended up just flicking some dark brown paint onto the vase as well, just to give it a little bit more dimension. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please make sure you give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button, because I post home decor and DIY content every single week, and I hope I see you next Sunday. Bye.